Hi everyone and welcome back to OC Aviary. Now in today's video we've finally managed to get a pair of birds that I've been looking for a very long time. I've been trying to get them for a good few years now, since I actually first saw them, just photos of them. I saw some a few months ago but sadly they weren't for sale. Finally I've managed to get as a pair to have for next breeding season, so I'm over the moon with these birds. Not only those birds, but we've also picked up another bird from the Lancashire show, and we need to take a closer look at the birds who were kindly given by Mark Jones and Ron Pemberton last week. So we've got 6 new birds to look at today. I hope you like them. Let's get right to it. So the first pair of birds, which is the pair that I've been trying to get for a long time, I can't resist showing you, holding it off any longer, so I've got to show you. It's a pair of twites. Now, these are beautiful birds, absolutely stunning. So what I've got here, this is a 2019 pair. They've proven the past 2 years on the trot, breeding a good number of youngsters. So I've been very lucky with that, and we've got them now. So I think we could get easily another year or 2 out of them. I don't believe they're as long-lived as some other birds like greenfinches, goldfinches, crossbills, hawfinches, things like that. But I don't think they're anywhere as less lived, such as something like a siskin. So yeah, it's a beautiful pair of twites. I'm so excited and happy to have this pair, and we'll be trying them next year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a good breeding season with them. We breed some youngsters off them. So these guys are one of my all-time favourites of the British birds. I've seen one in the wild once a very long time ago, so it's great to finally have a pair here. And I'm really looking forward to see how they get on. So the clip you'll have just seen, they have just had a bath or not too long ago, so they aren't as looking as good as they could do, just because obviously they literally just had a bath and the feathers are still damp. But yeah, I was kindly sorted that pair out by Paul Meek, so massive thank you to Paul for those birds, and I look forward to see how we get on with them next year. So longer term viewers of the channel may recall that in early October we brought in 2 cock native bullfinches and 3 hens. With them all being siblings, I obviously can't breed them together, and we are doing some hybrids with the bullfinches next year, but I am planning on running at least 1 pair of straight native bullfinches, if not 2. Because we'd only got brothers to the hens, well, we needed an outcrossing, and that's where this guy comes in. So what we've got here is a 2021 native bullfinch cock, and that was kindly sorted out by Matt Eld of the Canary Room. Me and Matt did a swap. I got one of the cock bullfinches from that pair, and I swapped it with him for one of the youngsters he's bred this year, so we both have an outcrossing to pair with some of the younger hens or whatever we're doing with them. So it's a lovely bird. It's clearly a buff bird, not colour fed, but not to worry, he's a breeder. He's not something I'm going to be taking to the shows, so he's going to go out in the flights for the remainder of the winter, and then come come earlier next year, then we'll we'll probably separate him out from other things. We'll probably get maybe the pair together, and we'll get them bonded come breeding season from about April onwards. But it's a lovely bird. Again, just recently had a bath, so excuse the slightly ruffled and damp feathers, but other than that, it's a lovely bird, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we get on with him next year. So that's the birds from the Lancashire show covered, which I brought back. We're going to look at all the results of the Lancashire show, have a take a look round the show hall, and look at plenty of really good examples of the birds that made it to the top bench, as well as throughout the whole show. So you're going to see all that in a video coming in a few days time. But on the topic of the bullfinches, as we've just looked at, we brought a native bullfinch hen back from Mark Jones. Kindly was given to me, and this is a 2021 bullfinch hen. She was bred this year. I think she's a bit of a late bred bird, as she's a little bit scruffy just to finish off the molt, but that's all it is. She's just got a few feathers that just need to come through on her head, but that's fine. That's nothing to worry about. So she's a lovely looking bird anyway, and then once I think she's molted out and she's a bit more settled, she'll look absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to having her for next year. So with an outcross, with her being an outcross, she's going to go to one of the other cockbirds we brought in earlier in the year. So the brothers to the hens we've got with the hybrids. So really, we're probably going to be running 2 pairs of native bullfinches next year, and then 3 hybrid pairs. We're going to have to see how the crossbill bully hybrid pair get on. But that's a native bully hen I was given very kindly. So massive thanks to Mark and Ron for that bird. But she's a lovely bird, and we'll see how she gets on next year for us. So a fault I've identified in some of the greenfinches that I've got, which are the real better quality ones that will do a lot more when the shows than the other ones, is that the colour's not quite there. This is obviously of no fault other than mine. It's just from the pairings, and I just need to work on them and get a few outcrosses in. So one of the outcrosses I've brought in was again from Mark Jones, and it's a fantastic coloured bird. I noticed that my greenies aren't as colourful as I'd like them to be, and they just need that work on them. So we've brought in that colour from this bird, and this is a fantastic greenfinch. The colour on the bird is brilliant. It's definitely a yellow bird. The wing bars are great. It's got the real proper good like lime green all the way through it, and the dark green coming through, and it's just a really nice bird. And I think the only fault with it is that it's just not as big, but that's all right, because we're building a stud over time to build up these birds and get them as good as possible. So what I brought in was a really colourful greenfinch cock to put in with ideally a really big hen, which I've bred this year. So then what I can do is put the size into them whilst hopefully preserving that colour, and we can get that throughout the line, which would be really good. So yeah, but it's a lovely bird. It's an over-year bird, I believe in 18. So you know, he'll be going into his fourth year, so 3rd breeding season. But you know, that's fine by me. He's a lovely bird anyway, and hopefully get a couple of youngsters off him, and we'll see how he gets on. So the final new bird we've got is again from Mark Jones and Ron, so massive thank you to them if they're watching this video. And it's a greenfinch hen, related I believe to the previous cockbird, but she's a lovely bird. The colour is really nice on her. She's good. She's similar in size to the hens I've already got. So I think it's going to be a good bird to have in and put to you know, one of the cockbirds that does need that improvement in colour. Because if we can do that with a good coloured hen as well, it's really going to benefit the line. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how she gets on. She's also a good shaped bird. It's just, again, the size just needs that a bit of work. So ultimately, putting those 2 new greenfinches we've got into the line we've already, you know, began building with the larger ones, which you're going to see how they did at the Lancashire in a few days' time. Then you know, it should really help, and I hope so anyway. So I'm still on the lookout for a few more outcross greenies. You know, some large birds as well. If I can get larger and good coloured, even better. But we're going to have to see. You know, I've got contacts for them, and it's just a case of waiting and seeing what people have got available to go. So not only is it greenfinches I'm looking forward to bring in, just a few more to add to what's missing from those I've currently got, but it's also red poles. I'm looking to try and bring in some really better coloured birds, and you know, just better birds in general, which will hopefully really help improve the current birds I've got as we develop them. Yeah, I've got some nice birds, and you're going to see how they all got on at the Lancashire again relatively soon. But I just want to try and make sure that I'm really cementing a good line, building a good line, so when I do progress to champion in a few years' time with the showing, then I've got some really good birds to go with, rather than missing out. So anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this video, then please make sure you subscribe down below and hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video.